Hello students, today we will be going to study about water resources. Let's get started. Firstly, let's discuss importance of water. Water is a crucial natural resource essential for all life forms on earth. It is used for various purposes including drinking, agriculture, industry, etc. However, water resources are limited and their availability can be an issue because of pollution, overuse, and climate change. Sustainable management and conservation of water resources are crucial to ensure a stable and secure water supply for current and future generations. Now, let's understand Earth's water resources. Earth's surface is mainly covered by water, with approximately 71% of the planet's surface covered by it. Out of this vast water resource, only 3% is freshwater that can be used by humans. Freshwater sources primarily include surface runoff and groundwater, which are part of the Earth's water cycle. The water cycle is a continuous natural process involving the evaporation of water from various water bodies, cloud formation, precipitation, and water returning to these bodies, ensuring its renewability. Despite the abundance of water, many regions and countries worldwide face water scarcity issues. Now, let's learn about water scarcity and the need for water conservation and management. Water scarcity is a significant concern despite water's abundance and renewability. Water shortages are often linked to regions with low rainfall or prone to drought, but overexploitation, excessive use, and unequal access also contribute to scarcity. Freshwater sources can be obtained from precipitation, surface runoff, and groundwater as part of the water cycle. Growing populations demand more water for domestic use and food production, leading to overexploitation of water resources, especially in irrigated agriculture. Irrigated agriculture is the biggest consumer of water, necessitating the development of drought-resistant crops and dry farming techniques. Rapid industrialization and urbanization further strain freshwater resources due to the high water and power consumption of industries. Hydroelectric power, a significant energy source for industries, constitutes about 22% of India's total electricity production. Increasing urban centers with dense populations also increase the demand for water and energy. Water quality issues arise due to pollution from domestic and industrial waste, chemicals, pesticides, and fertilizers. The Indian government prioritizes improving the quality of life in rural areas through initiatives like the Jal Jeevan Mission (JJM), which aims to provide rural households with a regular supply of potable piped water. Multipurpose river projects and integrated water resources management. Firstly, we will learn about dams. Dams serve various purposes beyond irrigation, including electricity generation, water supply for domestic and industrial use, flood control, recreation, inland navigation, and fish breeding. These integrated uses of impounded water make dams multipurpose projects. Examples of multi-purpose projects include the Bhakra Nangal project in the Sutlej River Basin, which combines hydel power production and irrigation, and the Hirakund project in the Mahandi Basin, which integrates water conservation and flood control. Dams structure flowing water, creating reservoirs or impoundments, and the term dam primarily refers to the reservoir. Let's see about the structure of dams. A dam is a structure constructed across flowing water to obstruct, direct, or retard its flow, often resulting in the creation of a reservoir, lake, etc. Most dams include a section called a spillway or way designed for the controlled release of water, either intermittently or continuously. Dams are categorized based on various factors, including their structure, intended purpose, and height. Based on structure and materials used, dams can be classified into three primary types: timber dams, embankment dams, masonry dams. According to their height, Dams are categorized as follows: large dams, major dams, low dams, medium height dams, high dams. Now, let's look at the adverse effects of dams. Poor sediment flow. Dams disrupt the natural transport of sediment downstream, causing excessive sedimentation at the bottom of the reservoir. This can result in the development of rockier stream beds and negatively impact aquatic habitats, making them less suitable for river ecosystems. Fragmentation of rivers. Dams physically fragment river systems. This fragmentation can hinder the migration of aquatic fauna, particularly during spawning seasons. Fish and other aquatic species may face difficulties in moving between different sections of the river, affecting their life cycles and populations. Submergence of floodplains. The creation of reservoirs behind dams often leads to the submergence of floodplains. As floodplains are submerged, existing vegetation and soil are also submerged, eventually decomposing over time. This alteration of the floodplain ecosystem can have wide-ranging ecological impacts. The Narmada Bachao Andolan. The Narmada Bachao Andolan, or Save Narmada movement, is an NGO that opposed the construction of the Sardar Sarovar Dam on the Narmada River in Gujarat, India. Initially focused on environmental concerns, it later shifted its focus to ensuring proper rehabilitation for displaced people. The movement highlighted questions about sacrifices made for the nation's development. Another way is change in cropping pattern. Irrigation has led to changes in cropping patterns, with farmers shifting to water-intensive and commercial crops. This change has ecological consequences, such as soil salinization. It has also altered the social landscape by increasing the wealth gap between landowners and landless individuals. Conflicts arise as different groups seek various benefits from water resources. Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting involves collecting rooftop rainwater for various uses. Traditional rainwater harvesting systems existed in semi-arid and arid regions like Rajasthan, where underground tanks were connected to sloping rooftops to collect rainwater. The process includes filtering the water using sand and bricks, storing it in underground tanks, and recharging groundwater. Rainwater stored in these tanks becomes a reliable source of drinking water during dry seasons. Rainwater is considered the purest form of natural water and also helps cool underground rooms during summer. Rooftop rainwater harvesting is common in Shillong, Meghalaya, despite the region receiving high rainfall. Tamil Nadu has made rooftop rainwater harvesting compulsory for all houses in the state, with legal provisions for enforcement. Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, has successfully implemented this system, collecting substantial amounts of rainwater annually. Let's look at bamboo drip irrigation system. In Meghalaya, a 200-year-old bamboo pipe system is used to tap stream and spring water. This system transports water over long distances and delivers it to plants in the form of tiny drops. Now, here's a secret on how you can study effectively with the EduRev app. You can learn with chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve NCERT-based MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev. And that's not all, you also get amazing courses for Class 10 and much more for your Class 10 preparation. Thank you.